Hello, Outlaws. Chief Warrant Officer Thumper here with some advanced musketry techniques. Things that you should be doing if you're out on the range, practicing long shots, 300 yards, maybe even four. Um, let's get to it. Generally speaking, sharpshooters and marksmen are commonly thought of someone who could, reach out and shoot someone from 500, 600, 700, even 1,000 yards. In the game here, you typically don't engage anyone outside of 200 yards. Rarely do you ever shoot at anyone outside 200 yards. And when you do shoot at someone, you're shooting at a line of individuals. You're not shooting at just one person. Let me give you an idea of what I mean. Here's a person at 50 yards. Here's a person at 100 yards. Here's a person at 200 yards. See how tiny they are. Now, if you look out across the range here, you can see the targets are pretty big. If you put a person in front of a target, you could see that you could fit four people in front of a target. Um, so you're not really shooting at a person, you're shooting at a line of people. So in order to maximize your chances of hitting a line of targets, you can see how the targets have this gap between them, right? I'm going to show you a way to help mitigate that, because if you're shooting at a line, there's not going to ideally there's not going to be any gaps between the soldiers. They like to keep tight formations, shoulder to shoulder. It helps with the sway and it helps with your aim. So typically, you're not going to have gaps between the soldiers when you're shooting at them. I'm going to show you a way how to mitigate these gaps here in just a sec. Okay, so here we are. You can see that I've come to the left-hand side of the targets instead of going right towards Sniper Hill there off to the right. I've come left, and here I am looking at the targets from an angle. You can see I still got kind of a gap between the targets there, but not nearly as pronounced as it was looking at the targets head on. So this kind of mitigates the gap situation, and you're more likely to hit a shot from 300 yards at this point. The way that you would approach this from a marksman standpoint is obviously you want the best rifle. You've got the Sharps, you've got the Mississippi, you've got the Pattern Enfield and the Whitworth. But honestly speaking, folks, you could hit these targets with any rifle in the game. It's just a matter of knowing where to shoot. Taking long shots like this, it's always best to either be in a line. That helps with your rifle sway. If you're out by yourself, what you really shouldn't do, you really shouldn't be out of line unless you're skirmishing, um, and you're with 5 or 6 other people who are, you're kind of spread out. You're not off by yourself, but you're not standing in a line. You're skirmishing. Um, they typically don't like Rambos, and that's just somebody who's out by themselves doing their own thing. They don't like that. But if you kneel, that'll put you into skirmishing mode, but it also helps to steady your rifle even more. You see how steady that is? Let me show you when I'm standing up. You'll see how it moves real bad when you're standing. But if you kneel, it's nice and smooth, doesn't move. It still moves, but not near as much. So if you're skirmishing and you're doing marksman, activities, kneel. Um, thing you want to keep in mind is if you're kneeling and you're skirmishing and you get killed, you cost more tickets than if you're standing in a line. That's how that works. But you are kind of harder to hit if you're kneeling. Um, yeah, I mean, outside that, kneeling, line your shots up as best you can, and don't expect to shoot one person. Like everybody likes to shoot the flag bearer or the officer. By all means, take your shots at them. They're running left or right. You want to lead them a little bit. Maybe put your front post just in front of them. You don't really want a gap between your post and them. Um, yeah, and just hope for the best. You're not going to hit every shot. You're not going to hit every one of them. But if you practice, you can at least hit 3 out of 5. So it's really helpful to know how to hit at range. But when you're talking ranges of 6, 7, 1,000 yards, yes, I can hit those, but it's just something that's only helpful on the range. Just some kind of competition you have with your buddies. Hey, I hit 600 yards today. Oh yeah, well I hit 700 yards today. And it's just a range thing. Hitting really long shots. It's just for bragging rights mostly. And but the 300-yard shots and under, definitely want to practice those because those will be helpful in battle. I'll go ahead and take a shot here since I haven't shot at all in this video yet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our lesson on advanced musketry. Perhaps you can take what you've learned today and really reach out and touch someone on the battlefield.